All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Estate Planning Expert Series, where I chat with financial advisors who are making estate planning a bigger part of their practice. And today, I'm so excited to be joined by Barbara Sekely of Nightstar Financial Services. Barbara believes that financial independence isn't just about earning more. It's truly about understanding, organizing, and protecting what you already have. I think that her approach to holistic planning ensures estate planning is truly not just an afterthought, but more of a core part of helping her clients feel secure. And she actually just hopped off a client meeting and said that it went well. So I'm excited to dive in a little bit deeper with you. Barbara, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
And Barbara, where are you located?
I am in sunny Florida,
Yes.
right
Yeah.
outside of Tampa. We are having absolutely stunning weather, particularly compared to many of the other parts of the nation.
I know. And we're still overdue for a lunch date because I'm also in Tampa, Florida. But right now, I'm not in my usual office. I'm actually out in Colorado on a ski trip, hence a little bit more of the mountainy background today than my typical beach background.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's hop right into this. The topic of today's interview is why holistic planning falls short without estate planning. And so I want to just talk about your process. You and I have talked before. We met up at a conference, LPL Focus last year. We got on camera together. I got to learn a little bit more about you. And what I see is that your process truly understanding a client's full financial picture, like it focuses on that. What changes when estate planning becomes a part of the initial strategy when you start working with a client instead of an afterthought?
Well, so we what we want to know when we talk about estate planning is partly the tax implications of what it is that you're doing. Secondarily, if something happens to you, where is all this acquired wealth going to go? And how can we protect it against things like probate? And how can the costs that could be involved in a probate exercise are enormous. We are looking to help people to understand a lot of things they don't know, and then it's very easy, particularly through trust and will, to help them to exercise the documents and then to put their accounts where they need to go, in a legal environment to be able to transfer to where they want them to be. If I can just real quick, my mother passed away last year, and she became during COVID 2020. She actually got her documents done. She got them done in, I think it was July of 2020. She fell in her house in September of 2020 and went straight to the hospital, straight to rehab, and ultimately to assisted living. If she hadn't had the documents she needed, her trust, her house, and her rental property were put into a trust. We had a power of attorney. We had a health directive. I used every single one of those documents through the process that she went through. And if I hadn't had them, we would not have been able to properly take care of her, and the cost that would have been involved to get what we needed would have been exorbitant. So I believe strongly in how powerful these documents are, and people should have them.
I mean, that is firsthand experience, and I'm so sorry about your mother. And I'm also happy for you and grateful for your family that that protection was put into place. These are hard conversations to have, right? No one wants to talk about what if and sort of the morbid conversation around passing and death. And you've spoken before about how hard these conversations can be for families, for your clients and their families. How has bringing estate planning into your process changed the way they're talking about the topic and actually following through with it?
Well, I've been doing financial planning for a while, 15 years, something like that. So we would used to say, you need a trust, you need a will, you need a power of attorney, and we would send clients off and we would see them the next year. Did you get them done? No, I didn't. How come? I just didn't get around to it, blah, blah, blah. And really, who wants to go talk to a stranger about these very personal conversations and then pay for it? Like the cost, depending on what state you live in, they can crash into $5,000. So there's all kinds of conflicting issues, whether it's monetary or whether it's emotional. By bringing trust and will into my practice, what I have found instead of saying, call an attorney, I can actually help them to do what they need to do to get done. I can help them to understand why they need to do it. And then because I know all the parts and pieces of their plan, I've gotten to know their families, I know what their wishes and their goals are. I can help them to execute documents to accomplish what we've already started to identify and set goals for. The it is a we actually I had one client come into the office, um, and we did help her quite a bit. She had put it off for quite some time because she had some serious gaps in her family and she had lost connection. So it was a very painful process for her. And because myself and my assistant, we were able to help her to fill in the documents, to get them signed, to get them done, because what kind of a mess would it have been if she'd had a medical event and then have none of these? She was a widow and she needed all the help she could get. So because we are in a position to discuss with them and kind of have an idea of where things need to go and who the players are, because we already know their family dynamics. And then we can help instruct them as to what these documents are for. My assistant has gotten she's become a notary. And so we're able then to notarize the documents again, right here in my office, which is another huge service to my clients.
Absolutely. I mean, the more you can bring and pull in-house, the better, right? This is what clients are wanting and they're seeking from their financial advisors. And I love how you use technology to support it all. And obviously, through that technology, there's access to attorneys to tap into when and as you need them. I know your firm is very much focused on, that ongoing relationship, ongoing reviews, ongoing adjustments to the plan. So how does estate planning strengthen these relationships you have, which you just shed a little bit of light on, but maybe we go a little bit deeper into like, what do these touch points look like over time with your clients?
Well, account reviews are done, depending on the client, at least annually, and frequently they're quarterly or semi-annually. And just like you do life insurance reviews, just like you do job analysis, changes of their career path, just as you look at how are things moving for a college plan. The topics of conversation we can do within financial planning are multiple, and this is just one more piece. And as we move along, we're able to help them to get those things done and not leave them sitting out there. I believe the cost to me as a business owner to be able to work with trust and will and provide that to my clients, it is a great return on investment.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. It's powerful and it's true, right? It's what a lot
Mhm.
of other financial advisors have shared with me on this series, in person at events, just through conversations and interviews. And it's been quite eye-opening for me. I think I had the same mentality, perhaps that a lot of other advisors might even still have today of, I don't want to bring that into my practice. I just want to focus on financial planning. But that is a short-sighted way of thinking about your business and best supporting your clients. So there's still a lot of hesitation out there. I'm curious, as a financial planner who has brought this in-house and truly offers holistic planning, what would you say to advisors who are hesitant? Would you give them any advice? And what would that advice be based on your experience?
So I used to, like I said, I used to tell them, you really need these documents. You Let me give you some phone numbers for some attorneys and then send them on their way. So now I can control the process way more. Um, if a client approaches an attorney, they're basically going to get the same thing that as a financial advisor we can offer through trust and will. If they have something that's more complicated, if they get into serious complexity within their trust situation where they want things to go, the documents can be worked through a little. If it gets super complex, then they can get discounted fees to contact local attorneys who can walk them through particular situations. I actually have only had that happen, I think, twice. Um, I know that when they do it through me, from a cost viewpoint, I had the funniest story. My son lives in Colorado, where you are,
Oh, cool.
and one of the reasons I did trust and will was I needed to get him to sign these documents. He's an avid snow skier, and I was terrified he would get in an accident and he wouldn't have any health directive, and I wouldn't be able to find out what's going on with him. So I had asked him to do it. So he ran across a fellow peer who had just completed the process to the tune of $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I had sent it to him saying, "This is free. It's not going to cost you anything. Mommy's taking care of you." When he saw somebody else had paid $5,000 for something he could get for free, now he saw the value. He got them done. He got them notarized. My first year of doing trust and will, I did this work for my clients as a value add. And I was able to rope in a lot of people that hadn't done what they needed to do. I now see this as another way for me to generate a fee within my planning services. And so we are setting it up a little bit differently. I am going to charge a separate fee because it does require time on my part. However, my fees will still be so much less and so less personally invasive versus what an attorney they don't know will be.
I'm so glad that you shed light on the fee side of it, because I think that might be another barrier, really on both sides, right? Cost to clients to actually get an estate plan done through your more traditional pathways of just going straight to an attorney. That is a true barrier for clients, as
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
just shared in your story. And also on the advisor side for, how can I structure this in my firm? How can I do it compliantly? Of course, every firm is different. And how can I do it in a way that still compensates me for my time, but removes that barrier for my clients? And that's exactly what you've done. And so that's a powerful story. Thank you for sharing that, Barbara. And I agree. If you have any clients, especially ones that are out skiing, please, please, please make sure they have an estate plan. It is quite a dangerous sport.
It is.
It is. I've only been doing it for 5 years. I'm still scared as ever, but I'm very cautious on the mountain. I'm not sure about your son, but I'm super
Oh,
cautious.
he's not. So,
Yep, yep.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's the man mentality. My husband is not either.
right,
Yeah.
right. So we want to have what we need in place to be able to take care of them, monitor them. And as as you get older and you start to think about a legacy plan, and I like that word legacy because I don't know that many people really think about
Yeah.
until you get to a certain age. That legacy, what you're going to leave behind, and how you go about doing it. Those who put together a trust and put all their assets into a trust so that in their passing, it goes straight from here to where they want it to go, they save so much stress
Hmm.
for their beneficiaries. I know when my mom passed away and she had put her home into a trust, and for us to sell it, I just had to provide a copy of the trust to the realtor and to the title company. And it was seamless to be able to sell her property. To have had to deal with a probate situation, to go through all that after losing one of your loved ones would just be so much more stress, and not necessary if you understand how it is the impact and the savings in financing that it will take to all these very hard earned assets that you have acquired over your life. You want them to pass to your beneficiaries as efficiently as possible and as least costly as possible. And these documents do that.
Absolutely. It's true protection. Like you said, legacy. That's what really this is about. So that is a perfect note to end on. Barbara, thank you so much for coming and sharing your insights, your stories, your experience. I truly believe that that is what will help move the industry forward, and not just for financial advisors, but also for everyday Americans, everyday consumers who
Oh, thank you.
look to advisors for advice. Yeah. And if you're in our audience today and you're an advisor, or you're someone else in need of an advisor, you're just curious about the topic, head over to trustandwill.com/advisors to learn more, or just trustandwill.com to learn more about building an estate plan. And you can also scan the QR code here at the bottom left of the screen. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. And Barbara, thank you for being such a spectacular guest. No surprises there. I hope to see you again in the near